you know what? We're going to start that again. You heard us talking, but we didn't have the mic on.
Okay.
Welcome. Welcome to the celebrated nightly news of Calaveras County.
And this time the mic is on.
I'm
Sarah, and this is John. And
thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. We do. We really appreciate you joining us. And I guess we don't talk too much about the site and kind of bragging on ourselves, but I think tonight we should say a little bit of something. Is May was actually our first official million hit month.
Woo!
So
wow.
And thank you. We know you have lots of choices in news, and we thank you for including us with your little clicking fingers and stopping by. We appreciate it, and sometimes we feel humbled because
there's so many.
There are so many, and we're included in and you included us in your clicks, and thank you very much. Well, what starts off the news tonight? I guess
it was a busy day.
It was, and I think, and for the Board of Supervisors, you could tell they were tired today. It was,
it was a long weekend,
and there was some contentious items on the issue, and it was, on the agenda, and and this is
that's
one of those days
sometimes.
you think, sometimes you think, oh yeah, it'd be good to be a supervisor. Then you're like going, nah,
today was not the day.
No, today
is where you say someone else needs to take that job.
It's a good job for them to have.
Exactly, and they can keep that good job too. Did you know it's a part-time job here in Calaveras County?
Most of them work full-time at it.
I know, but it's technically a part-time job. Technically.
Well, I guess tops on the agenda is this is an item that looked like an inconspicuous item on the agenda.
Yes.
But it probably has the biggest fiscal impact on the county, and that was the minute order giving direction to the Community Development Department to issue variances and do whatever they can to hasten the process of getting the backlog of septic repair permits and things done. And it also just cleaned up some language on how they're going to handle the setback issues and things like that.
Exactly.
And I think,
there's a lot of redlining.
Yeah. And we have the draft of it here.
That's the second page of redlining.
And in essence, what this will do is this is a compromise worked out between members of the building community, the real estate community, the title community, and the Community Development Department on trying to fine-tune language that alleviates a lot of the problems and I guess pressure that's been from the community side on the department, because there was some interpretations of setback issues in the latter part of 2006 that in essence made a lot of these older lots and smaller lots unbuildable, or some people say that's too small a word, too strong of a term to say unbuildable, but it would have made it so they weren't as desirable because it made the configuration of where you had to put a dwelling.
The dwelling.
Yeah, and so the house would basically have had to have been a tower, so to speak, small footprint. So you want a 2,000 square foot house there?
Was that this wasn't actually a change in the ordinance, it was a change in the interpretation of the ordinance.
Correct.
And so that was actually addressed today through the minute order.
Yeah, I think it was cleaned up because basically, and you can tell that the supervisors are tired of their phones ringing on this issue, especially District 3 supervisor, because a lot of those were in Marita's district, and you could tell that the supervisors wanted this done today. Yeah. They wanted to make sure this got passed and done today. So basically, this is a minute order that gave direction to the department on how to proceed with these. With the added caveat, I guess, is that this is to be interpreted that they have the direction to get this done as if the resolution had already been officially passed by the board. So basically, this is the direction to where the department head has the authority to get these variances and get things cleaned up and done. And if we're reading between the lines of it, that seems to be the wish of the board to have this problem just kind of
Well, usually that's what happens though. When a resolution is passed, it's immediate. There's not typically any type of lag or delay in its implementation. Sometimes a department has to come up to speed to implement it.
Right.
But now it is at the discretion of the planning department or the community development department to get these
variances done and get the.
Plus, it created a huge backlog.
Right, and we talked to one, and this is the effect that it seems like no big deal if you're watching from outside of the area. It's like, why are you guys talking about this? But we talked to a mortgage broker today. That interestingly, he brought up how this hasn't actually blown any escrows out for him, but he knows of several escrows that never happened because of this. So, in a market that's a little bit flat right now, anyway, that's soft, the possibility of things like this hanging over where people decided not to either sell or buyers didn't buy because it would muddy the process going forward. So this should actually make things a lot cleaner, getting things done. In fact, we had talked to one man who does planning. He does planning stuff, and he basically told his clients they want to submit some plans and stuff and get them done now. He basically said, wait a couple weeks. Just let this stuff. Just get them.
You have to give them time to get
and he basically, or I guess they were planning on doing it last week. And he basically gave him, his client's direction to where, look, this is coming down the pike. Let's get this done. Get it, so that way there's clear direction to the department. And I think that has been given now. And so I think this is a good thing for the economic environment in the county, because Calaveras County is largely dependent on tourist dollars, obviously, but on real estate, construction, and stuff like that, because we need those
property tax. I mean, the government runs essentially on property tax dollars.
And you can see from the budget process now, the county's feeling the pinch, so to speak. So this should
not necessarily just
because of this issue, no. But I think it's all
it all feeds into each other.
Yeah,
and I think all part and parcel with one another. And
this vote today, I think, will go in some measure towards alleviating on down the road to start. This
because septic systems fail. They need to be replaced.
They do.
Or they need to be just put in. And if the, like you said, footprint on the house is too large, if the ordinance is interpreted in such a way,
setbacks,
the setbacks, then
it impacts people's ability to build the type an aesthetically pleasing dwelling. On the lot, and this helps alleviate that somewhat. Also on the board, there was a. It was just contentious. It was one of those. One of those items to where it was.
Can you tell he was the one at the board meeting today? It was like building and planning day.
Yeah, it was, but
variances and.
Item number 16 on the agenda was the planning. A possible board action or variance for Robert and Joanne Bunton appealed the plan director decision regarding a setback variance on a property in Dorrington. And this one, it was in some ways it was very sad, because you could tell it was neighbor versus neighbor. It was there was a lot of angst involved. And when this one finished with the agenda, you could tell everybody was just tired. And
and sometimes that's what happens with setback variances. I mean, setbacks are in the code and building code, and they are there for a reason, as far as you can have your garage X amount of feet from the property line or from the curb at the front of your house. And sometimes people want to build a dwelling, maybe a mother-in-law's quarter or a garage, as in was in this case, and they only have so much land. I haven't seen this property, but they only have so much land to build on, and they apply for a setback variance. And then what happens?
Well, one of the issues that came out is their driveway is really steep. So in the summertime it's passable as long as you have the pine needles swept off. But in the wintertime it's virtually unusable. So this was basically so they could put a garage at the bottom of the driveway to be able to house vehicles, and I don't know who was right or wrong on this, but it was a tiring issue.
Yes, and those of you who have been following county news for years know that this happened a few years ago in San Andreas with a garage that was not built to county specifications. See, and it was passed off.
Oh.
It was signed off, but it did not fit in with the residential neighborhood, and it was. I mean, you talk about board meetings that were contentious. That would be it.
The other one, the bus funding bill.
The bus funding.
It passed 4-1. Imagine that.
They waited.
Yes.
They tabled that till they had a full board.
Yes.
So the buses we have, I think it's, what was it, 4 or 5?
Let
me look at my little notes here.
We really like Supervisor Tryon, but he's not a big fan of public transportation.
No, because government loses money on it.
Right.
That's why. And 5. It was 5 2008 buses.
Yeah.
And in the amount of $722,000, $722,070.45.
Well, the good thing, if you're looking at doing spending time on county transit, you're gonna have some spiffy new digs to roam around the county and woo! Right?
Actually, what's really great about county transit is that you can actually get from our county down to the Sacramento airport taking transit.
Wow.
You're taking multi-county transit at that point, but you can actually switch buses and get on light rail and go down there, and you can make it work. So you don't have to park your car.
Very nice. That sounds good.
Yeah. So that was basically, those were the big deals in Board of Soups.
Yeah, I think so. And Calaveras High is graduating tomorrow, so that'll be one of those issues. And we talked about this last night: is they don't have a network connection, so we can't broadcast this live. So
exactly.
We wish we could, but maybe next year.
Yeah. Also, actually, in other county news, should I tell them this?
Sure.
According to another local newspaper, they are about to fill the general plan coordinator position after 8 months of looking.
Wow.
So, and apparently, according to this article, this...
It is in the Calaveras Enterprise.
Yes. The most qualified applicant has planning experience and is quite experienced in the whole general plan process.
Interesting.
But we have not verified that because we don't know who it is. So I will just tell you that they have apparently found someone.
Looks like they're getting closer to fill that position.
To fill that position, which is a good thing because we need to get the general plan done so that there can be some adherence to the general plan when making planning decisions.
Who needs a general plan? Just have it chaotic. Just.
I don't think he meant that. I don't think he meant that.
Just kidding.
So.
Well, I mean, No, it was just it was an interesting dynamic today in the board. You could tell it was you could tell there was some tired folks there. It was just
well, you know what happens. It is just one of those things that some board meetings are just contentious.
Yeah.
And that's when you, like we said earlier, you don't want to really be a supervisor or an elected official at that time. And
no, it's also in other issues, it looks like I know you don't tune into us for national news, but can we talk about stuff for?
Sure.
How do you think the debates in the presidential election stuff shaping up? The Democrats were having another debate tonight, right?
They were, and hopefully you're watching us instead of them.
Yeah. And the Drudge Report is titling "A Bush Bash in New Hampshire." So and also Scooter Libby got 30 months.
Really?
Yep, he was sentenced to 30 months. He's still going to be out on appeal, but Scooter Libby, sentenced to 30 months. That's pretty heavy. Now you're always up on the state stuff. Anything on state legislative or anything
I'm
like that?
I'm looking right now, and it looks like they're going to charge. The CHP is going to try and charge Senator Migden.
Oh, that's right.
With if those of you have been following the state news, actually, in the last couple of weeks, she had a fender bender, an accident, and
did she leave the scene? Is that the?
I don't know if she drove off. I think she did. But she said initially she was reaching down apparently, and then she was talking on her cell phone, and then it turned out that, she rear-ended the car. I don't think she left the scene.
Yeah.
And, but this is not the first time she's had this type of fender bender. A few years ago, she was on medication, and she got in an accident in a state vehicle. And CHP has recommended actually charging her with the highway crash. And
sorry.
Reckless driving resulting in.
I clicked on something and a video started.
We're just going to take those away from you. But it's sort of interesting, the state issues that are coming up now. They, I can't remember the assembly bill right now, but it's actually on the plate too.
On the other national news stuff. Oh, I was just going to.
Well, I was going to say Kevorkian got out.
Yeah, Kevorkian was out.
And the assembly, what's going through the California State Assembly now is an assisted suicide bill.
Now.
So that's back on the plate, and there's sort of a lot of. Wow.
Yeah, I mean it's. Interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is Katie Couric's ratings continue to slide. So
wow,
yeah.
That's
now that
news.
And the really saddening thing is, they usually list the top 3,
mm-hmm.
but then I think we were like 4th or 5th. Is that the it's that national poll from from Bangor, our viewer from Bangor, Maine.
That's
right.
Right. That's right. Definitely.
So yeah, it's the numbers there. Google's stock price is at an all-time high again. And this
mm-hmm.
is the thing that is really, really wild, and it's a lot. Google is becoming all-powerful. So because about 50% of the traffic on the Pine Tree is Google-driven,
mm-hmm.
and people will search for a term that we had an article on or something like
mm-hmm.
that, and it drives the traffic to us. And it's really to where they are the arbiter of what people see, in some ways. It's an interesting, yes, there's still Yahoo and some of the others, but, it's...
Google has embedded itself, too. Like if you download Google, you can when you download Mozilla,
right,
you download Google.
Google, their toolbar with it,
mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of an interesting thing to watch, to see Google expand, because they were just like this little search engine,
and it's
and it's and
it's the change of the web.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a change of the web, because if somebody would have told us that, because people have asked, well, what are you trying to do with the Pine Tree? Why'd you start this up in the middle of nowhere? And if people would have said that we would have gotten the traffic that we're getting based, in a county of 50,000 people, they would have like, oh, yeah, right, never happened. But
1 million hits is pretty good.
Not bad. We'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, another kind of comical thing on national news is Rudy was explaining his abortion stand, and lightning struck.
Oh! I didn't hear that.
Here you are on the abortion issue, but it was kind of a funny little thing to where.
It's very timely, I guess, if you were looking at it that way.
Yeah, so I tend to agree with Rudy on that, but it's one of those. It was lightning did strike, so it's. And the Gallup poll says that Obama and Clinton are completely tied up right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I think people are going to get very tired of this election very quickly. You're talking about a really long election cycle.
And it's going to get contentious. Can you imagine what it's going to be like? Let's say it's Giuliani versus Clinton in the end. It's just. It's gonna.
That's not even something anybody wants to even watch. I wouldn't imagine.
Well, it could be interesting.
It could be interesting to see what they dig up on each other.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely not unusual for candidates to send somebody out and go through their opposition's
trash,
garbage.
literally, yeah.
Literally,
yeah.
they dig through the trash.
Yeah.
And it just, the thought of somebody digging through your trash. Of course, up here, I take my trash to the dump. They'd have to get into the
that's
dump
true.
thing
Yeah.
and follow me
but,
in.
You know, I guess
not that there's anything there that's interesting, you know, but they literally dig through your trash.
Now they do that in the supervisorial races here in the county, don't they?
I've never seen them dig through each other's trash, but it happens in Sacramento.
Really?
It does.
Oh boy.
Depending on how contentious the race is and who they hire to run their campaigns.
Yeah, in the bizarre news, and this has a local twist because this was from Fresno and the Valley, and this is the in Yolo County. I mean, this has stuff to count. This is the attempted. Where they were going to try to overthrow.
Americans.
Yeah, this is the plot. This is the plot, right? To where they were. What was? I'm babbling here.
Yeah, we're waiting for the plot.
But you probably heard the news. Didn't you hear about this? The guys got arrested for trying to overthrow the Laotian government.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Was it an American corporation?
Well, no, it was just a couple guys here. It was guys here. Many of the thousands from Hmong refugees fled the United States among the Vietnam War never accepted the communist government that took power in the native Laos.
Actually, I did hear about this. Come to think of it.
Basically, there was a couple guys over here that were trying to get some Stinger missiles and everything else. It was kind of a do-it-yourself coup.
Well, you know, it is not unusual.
It was like, what are we gonna do? Well, let's see.
Part of it, maybe.
Let's do a. Which small obscure government can we overthrow? You know, it's just.
But you know what's interesting about that is that sometimes the perception in another country is that the Americans are trying to do it. Like that small little group is located in America.
Right.
So the perception of the country is the Americans are trying to take us over.
But it was just two guys trying to find some
exactly. It has nothing to do with the Americans.
Last this week, you know, it's just. I just thought it was kind of interesting. You know, it's just kind of. And also the other one is. I know we're rambling a little bit, but this was kind of interesting. Is the U.S. broadcasters win indecency challenge?
Oh, they
now,
did.
Since we're not covered by the FCC stuff here on the web. We could say stuff, but we won't. But basically what this said is that you can
Ron
now...
and John would.
Yes, but now you can say the F word during primetime television now, and also the SH word during primetime. And I don't think that's a good thing. But they'd overturned, so now you can... that is...
I thought their challenge was, though, that... You couldn't, I mean, not on primetime, but later on, and in cable.
U.S. Appeals Court rules did that punish broadcasters for accidental use. So I guess they would have to be accidental. So basically,
because there's still words you can't use. I mean, if they accidentally use the F word on a live broadcast,
correct,
and they can prove it's accidental,
they don't get.
And obviously this stems from the whole Janet Jackson Super Bowl situation a couple of years ago.
And that wasn't, and people thought that her little appendage might as well have been profanity, right?
Well, you know, it's a choice. It's a choice. I mean, it's a family show.
And that was an accident.
Are you so disconnected with everybody else in the world that you think that they're going to view that as accidental when you have a pasty on? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, to me, that was the most ridiculous thing. And why would you have that kind of show in a Super Bowl? It's a family program.
Right. and I could wear pasties, but I don't think anybody would want to see it.
No, that would truly be indecent. Then they'd be pushing for decency rules for the web, and they'd point to the pine tree and say, "That's John Hamilton."
That's just not indecent. That's just wrong.
That's just wrong.
That's just wrong on so many levels.
Yes, it is. And in other news, we have 24 new species that they have found.
Wow!
Including a fluorescent purple frog.
Really?
Really. It's in Suriname.
Should they do that? That should be like for the purple haze, for like Bret Hart, huh?
Yeah,
the purple frog.
Maybe they should get one of these purple frogs.
Huh.
Distinctive purple markings, and 6 new types of fish, and 12 beetles, and 1
really
ant species.
Sorry, this is really going to get obscure though. But did you see the thing a couple years ago? I guess there's this one toad that if you lick it, it's hallucinogenic.
Yeah.
Okay. But you ever think about this? Is like, who was the first one to lick it? So it's like, dude, lick the toad. It's like, oh man, you gotta. I mean, it's one thing to, but it's like, how do you know? I mean, it's whoever thought that was a good idea.
Frog eaters.
Yeah, I mean, who licked the toad first? You know, it was like, how did you find this out? So.
Did you not ever see The Brothers Grimm, the movie?
I did not. Oh, I think I saw parts of it.
She licks the toad, the mother toad. It's like kissing the toad, I imagine, so the toad will lead them out of the forest.
Aha.
So there's probably some sort of ancient story about licking a toad that somebody actually decided to take to heart, and that's how they found out about the hallucinogenic properties of that particular toad. Mark my words, that would be the explanation.
You know, if I was a guy, or I mean, if I was a single guy, I guess you could do it to where it's some type of a dating ploy. You know, you could say that.
Oh, that would be disgusting.
If you know, I mean,
that's kissing. That's just wrong. I tell you what, if you're single out there and you're like on a date with a woman, do not ever tell them that you licked a toad. That's just disgusting. That wasn't the point.
You said that if she licked you might be hallucinogenic product.
We're on to a different topic because we're not going there.
Just kidding. All right.
Okay.
Right? I mean,
see, he still wants to talk about it because he's a guy.
Yeah, if it was that first kiss, you know, you figure kiss a frog, get a prince, right? At least you could claim
or you could kiss a lot of frogs and get no prince.
And you could just claim to be hallucinogenic. You know, it was just... Should we wrap it up?
Woo!
Should we wrap it up for tonight?
Yes.
All right.
That'll work. Except that our weather was sort of wrong yesterday.
We got a little bit of weather, didn't we?
We got rain. We got rain yesterday.
It was kind of nice. Very nice. You know, it gives it a little bit of... we said there might be thunder showers. We didn't?
No.
Oh.
No, we did not.
Okay. All right.
Did you lick a toad lately?
No, I haven't. Arnold, tonight, low of 41. Isolated thunder showers again tonight. Partly cloudy tomorrow, high of 62. Mostly clear into the 43 tomorrow night. And then we 72 of high on Friday. High of 65, high of 72 on Friday.
Isolated thunderstorms.
Did I read that wrong?
No, I was just wondering.
Bear Valley, a 30% chance of snow tonight.
Ooh.
Not bad. And low of 33, decreasing clouds, high of 50 tomorrow. So if you're camping up there, looks like you're going to have a high. It is going to go climb back up. High of 66 this weekend, and I think this weekend's still going to be a nice warm weekend.
I think it will be. It has a tropical feel, actually, right now.
Yeah.
With the rain, it actually feels like you're in Hawaii a little bit. So,
great.
Tonight,
yeah,
Murphy's partly cloudy, or Wednesday partly cloudy at 68 degrees. It will be about 45 degrees tonight. Wednesday night 46 degrees, Thursday 72 degrees, and as we go on over to the weekend, Saturday will be 83 degrees. Still gets a little chilly at night though, 57 degrees for Saturday night. And then Angels Camp. Let's see, tonight 47 degrees. And Wednesday, 68 degrees. Wednesday night, 48 degrees. And going over to the weekend, Saturday, 82 degrees with a 60-degree low on Saturday night.
Wow.
So
looks like it's going to be pretty good.
It'll be nice.
Yeah.
It'll be a nice weekend. And there should be a lot to do this weekend, which you can tune in on Thursday night.
Where we get to tell you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
See, I know I take probably more pleasure in saying that than I probably should. Because, do you ever feel like we never get to tell anybody what to do? Everybody's always telling you.
I don't have that problem, actually.
All right, and also weather for Bangor, Maine. Okay,
Bangor,
weather
Maine.
for Bangor, Maine. Tonight it will be thunder showers as well. See, look at this. It looks
look at that. It's very similar to our weather pattern.
High of 76, low of 53. High of 68 tomorrow with partly cloudy. Low of 45. High of 73 on Thursday and a high of 77 with a low of 54 on Friday. Yep. So if you're looking for Bangor weather, Maine weather, yeah, there you go.
That's what it is.
So it should be a good...
Actually, a nice weekend for you, too.
So if you're going out fishing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going fishing in the Atlantic.
Yeah. Hopefully our Bangor, Maine viewer is a male.
Or if you're going to set those crab pots, right, for the lobster. Don't you just set the lobster traps in pots?
I guess you do.
And you need to, So
yeah, it'll be nice for you to do that this weekend.
And we do occasionally have viewers in Sweden. So should we do... No, we won't do the weather for Sweden.
We have viewers in England.
I know. And consistent viewers in England. Thank you very much. We appreciate you stopping by.
Yes.
Now, next time you're over here, come make sure you support our advertisers and buy goods and services for people who...
What about Germany? Do we have Germans?
I don't know. Well, hang on just one second. Just 1 second. Here we go.
We are now a work in progress. We're seeing us research as we go along.
Here we go. Let's see. I will look at here, and this is our little tool here.
There's all these little charts, the pie charts.
Little
display.
All right, here we go. And this is
the
last
whole state of California
Germany
watches us.
Essen, Germany. Now these are where the customer enters the network. This may be off by their hometown by a few miles.
Yes,
so we have Essen, Germany.
Mm-hmm.
We had Brussels, Belgium. Thank you for stopping by.
The tapestries there are beautiful.
Really?
Yes, that's
Lansing,
what they're known for.
In the UK, stopped by.
Anybody else?
Reading.
Yes.
Stopped by.
It's like a Monopoly game.
And also Edmonton.
Hey, Edmonton
stopped by
is
from
a
Edmonton,
cool place.
Canada. Thank you very much. I know that's not European.
Very nice.
And Jakarta stopped by the Pine Tree.
Wow.
And some of these, you can tell from looking at these, you can tell when stuff's random, when it's like a visit or two. And some of these are random, but you can tell when it's
hopefully
consistent.
You come back.
Yeah.
Yes.
So where
New Delhi or Delhi.
Delhi. That's not random. There's more than one. So that they actually wanted to stop by and see something.
Tune in.
Yeah. That's
very cool.
Yeah.
But we don't have any South Americans yet.
No South Americans yet?
No, and nobody from Africa either.
Well, that was May. Let's look in June. Let's see if we've had anybody from Africa in June. We've had China. That one looks like kind of random, though. But there we go. Stockholm. Thank you for stopping by from Stockholm. It was probably Supervisor Thomas's son, Dane.
That's
Thanks,
true.
Dane, for stopping by from Sweden.
Then you're in a small town when you know where people's sons live. That is the truth.
But isn't that the main thing about the web, though? Because even though that's Stockholm, Sweden, we probably know who that viewer was.
Yes, it's a small world.
Okay, we won't break into song. No,
it's time to go. When he starts singing and dancing, it's time to go.
Vancouver, Cheyenne, Wyoming, Denver, Bethesda, Maryland. Isn't that, there's all kinds of stuff. Okay. Oh, and another one is, I bet
Another one.
Yeah.
This is about the time that our viewers start going,
they're fleeing in droves.
We don't want to know anymore. Yes. No.
You know, and we were getting very consistent hits from Connecticut.
Connecticut?
In a town in Connecticut. I was like, what? And then I remembered there was a reporter for the Union Democrat that moved to a paper in Connecticut. So she's probably just
still
checking into see what, like, no, nothing's happened in Calaveras County. No, it's still. But
it may be completely unrelated as well.
It could be. It could be where somebody is
you make these
really
assumptions in life, and you draw sort of these connections from one point to another point, and it may not be right.
Many times. And you were seeing if we had any visitors from Africa. Man,
none.
No visitors from Africa. Oh, I bet we do. Just 1 second. Just 1 second.
This is how he really is.
I know you're just thinking. It's like, who cares, John? Go away.
You see the fun, happy side. This is the intense.
You're right.
Gotta find out.
Israel.
Hey.
Yeah. So nothing from Africa. You're right, and nothing from South America. Australia.
We had Australians.
Yeah. There we go.
From Brisbane.
Yeah. But sadly, nothing from Africa.
One day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nothing from Madagascar.
They have hissing cockroaches, don't they?
Huh?
Hissing cockroaches.
In Madagascar?
The Madagascarian
hissing cockroaches. I know they make great vanilla.
They do?
Yeah. A lot of your best vanilla beans come from Madagascar.
Oh, that's something to
And I think that's a lot more uplifting than hissing cockroaches. Maybe they were hissing because they got too close to the vanilla.
I don't think so.
No?
No, we need to go. We need to stop doing this to our poor tortured audience.
Anyway,
thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us, and we appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow night for another riveting half hour.
Yes.
Right?
Of news from around the world.
That you didn't need, or maybe didn't even want. But
that's okay. It was kind of interesting. You've got to admit it. It was interesting.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.